Guys, welcome back. It's 11 billion degrees outside. Negative 11 billion. I know it's pouring snow in Louisiana right now, South Texas, Alabama, Mississippi. What about global warming? No, I better not go there. Today, we got a video helping you guys out, talking about what we do to kind of prevent and try and control a little bit like what these machines, hydraulics, filters, etc. Preventive maintenance is what I'm trying to say, and preventive things that we try to tackle before we bring these machines out here and run an 11 and 12 degree day. You'll hear, we're at a dirt site here, not too far from the shop. We got Sambo in the 51i machine. We got Mr. Bill in the 730 Caterpillar haul truck, and then we got Colton back there in the 360. And you're gonna go, Cy, why are you running these machines in this temperature? Well, the ground that we are on here at this specific site, the site conditions where we're at, as soon as it thaws out, it absolutely turns to muck. That thing starts rutting everywhere, every single direction. So we're actually use some of these methods that I'm talking about to help prevent us from running into the issues while we're working on site today. All right, tip number one, I gotta say, every one of these newer machines should have fuel water separators in them. You should be draining them about every other tank, etc., and watching them anyways. But in the wintertime, you get this kind of temperature, you got to drain that. You can't have any water in there, guys. Get it out, drain it a couple times a day, at the start of the day, at the end of the day. Second thing is that get you some fuel additive. Fuel additive, guys. Diesel fuel supplement, okay? Winterizer, anti-gel. Number one trick here, well, this is number two on our list, but number one thing you gotta do to be able to run these diesels like they should during the day, during this cold temperature and frigid times, you take the cap off. Here, I'll dump a little in there for you right now. You literally take the cap off. You can read the directions, dump a little in there, right in the gas cap, fuel cap, whatever you want to say. But you have to have fuel additive in there. My God, am I fixing to bust that because it's so cold? Can't even get that on, guys. Well, you also have a 6-minute battle with a fuel cap when it's 11 degrees. Additive in our fuel, making sure there's no water in our fuel water separators. Absolute crucial to what we're doing. And I get to tell on my guys, this skid steer hasn't moved in a couple of days. I don't know if it would or not, guys. This frozen dirt in our tracks. Way to go, fellas. Channel, did I not just say it in the last video? Did I not just harp on them about having frozen tracks in the very last video? Track's a little froze there, fellas. Damn, that's good on them carriage, hey boys. Pretty sure I did. Dig your stinking tracks out. It's really hard on these spindles and on these sprockets and these rollers when it's cold outside. Any extra added pressure, there's just no reason for that. When you're done with the machine at the end of the day, dig them out so they don't look like this, because what's gonna happen is these rollers are gonna freeze, they're gonna bust, cause you to shut down, cost you money to even do anything that day to begin with. Cy, how long am I gonna warm my machine up on a day like today? I've let them run a couple hours before. I am not upset about running diesel fuel through these machines when it's just stinking cold outside. Let them run, guys. If you're, say, back in the days I was loading a machine up to go somewhere, I'd start it up, let it run in 30, 45 minutes. I'd load it on a trailer and let it run all the way to the job. I wouldn't even shut it off. Once we get everything warmed up a little bit, you see a little tick on your temperature gauge, and we're maybe gonna try and start working that machine. The first thing we're gonna do, exercise those hydraulics. Tip number 4. I know that sounds so cringy, but seriously, raise that bucket up, raise all and stretch out all of those hydraulics and make sure all of that hydraulic oil has circulated through the pump, circulated everywhere it needs to, because when it gets like this, hydraulic oil is about the consistency of syrup. It's really, really sticky, doesn't want to liquefy. That's exactly what you're needing to prevent. You don't want it to solidify at all. You need it to be liquid. So give it some time to unthaw, exercise those hydraulics. Don't fire up that machine let it run 10 minutes and go run it into a pile full tilt, you're gonna be replacing something. You're gonna be replacing hoses. You could replace a pump. You could replace just about anything. That's probably the other major tip. Also, tip for you guys with treatment, not just in your machines. If this fuel's sitting and there's any type of condensation in there, put some in there. This comes in the gallon size, dump it in there. There's no reason this stuff should start gelling up on you if you're treating it and being prepared. Do this a day before if you know, like don't do it the day of. Try and do it a couple of days before this weather really sets in and hurts your schedule. You can see, look at this Dozer. I was just making sure he actually dug the tracks out. That's not all frozen. Well, I will remind these guys, it's about lunchtime for them. Video of you shooting your video. Customer shooting a building update video for everybody. Last thing, if you guys are doing concrete, if you're doing utilities, you can still do them, but you need to be prepared to fight against the cold. Concrete blankets are everything. If you're a utility guy and we're trying to do saddle tests in the middle of winter, I know you guys up north don't do much of it after it gets this cold, but down here, we have to keep going. Like, we can still keep going. It's normally 50 degrees during the day. We don't normally have these 10 degree, 15 degree high days much here in Arkansas. So we keep trucking right through the winter. We utilize concrete blankets, we utilize straw, sometimes some tent and actual propane heaters if it's something that really needs watched in a certain area, etc. So I love it when customers come out and they're excited about what we're doing. That really makes my whole day, I gotta say. Lastly, guys, your people. Take care of your people. Sarah got some glovies for all the guys. They're little touchscreeny phone. It's the little things. Make sure we got beanies. Get them some hoodies. If you see one of your guys ain't had enough money to buy a jacket or whatever, get him a jacket. Don't even think about it. Just make sure he's covered. They don't need to be going out and working in these temperatures not prepared. I understand you're probably going, well, that's their job. They can go out there and freeze. Well, you're not going to get much production out of somebody that's not a little bit warm in something like this. And you can keep seeing Bill and Colton, the heaters working these machines because they get out wearing nothing but a t-shirt on. It's 11 degrees outside. They're not hurting too bad when they're in that equipment. You don't see many guys out and about. We do have some pipe going in right now, but it's very hit and miss. Bolting some fittings up, not really mainlining those rubber gaskets, man. It's not worth taking a chance trying to slide stuff together. I know there's gonna be a bunch of guys hop down in the comments and tell me I'm wrong. I'm prepared, but for what Sycon here does and what we do, I'm not looking to take that chance unless we absolutely have to in an emergency situation. So guys, be prepared. It's cold. Get anti-gel in your machines, in your tanks. Check those fuel water separators, and what a great example of why you should dig your stinking tracks out. Y'all be safe, be kind, be humble. Till next time.